Hello everyone, this video will cover Module 8. Module 8 is the last module for the class. It just includes the final assignments for the class. We are focused on revision and review, so nothing new for you. Just kind of going back over what you've learned this semester and reflecting on whether or not you've met your writing goals and things like that. So you've got 3 assignments to complete. You have a revision assignment and a quiz, and then your final course reflection, which is kind of our final essay for the class. So revision assignment, you have some readings that really just go over some things that we've already done. So review these first and then go into the revision assignment. So the revision assignment is you're taking your essays that you've written this semester. So we have a narrative, a cause and effect, a comparison, and a music video. And you're going to go back through those and the final draft versions and look and see what sort of feedback I left you on those. And then you're going to be, and then also your own kind of self-editing, looking back through, and your objective is to find sentences that could be improved. So it might be because there's an actual error, and it might also be because it is some sort of wording issue, or you just didn't like the wording or something like that. And so you've got quite a few options for what to do, and you're then going to copy and paste them. So you're not writing over the original essay. You are creating a new document, and you're going to, it should look like this. You're going to isolate those sentences, and you're going to then explain. You put the original version, the corrected version, and then your explanation of why it needed to be corrected. So this example right here, original, and I've got that correction, and the error was a comma splice. So if you know what the error is, you can actually name it. Otherwise, you can your explanation might be, I didn't like the wording, or I wanted to reword it for clarity, or whatever. And so you're just going to go through and number them. And it's important that you number them, because I get some students who don't do that, and then they end up with like 19 corrections, and so then they don't get their full credit for doing the assignment. If you have something that applies to the entire essay, so let's say you didn't organize the paragraphs correctly, it didn't go in chronological order, I'm not expecting you to rewrite the entire essay, so you can just then explain what the correction should be, or what you should have done, and then why. So that's the main thing we're doing, is trying to get the why in there. Why does it need to be changed? What's the issue? That kind of thing. You can also, if you want to, especially since we're getting to the end of the semester, some of you are turning essays in late. You may not have feedback on an essay yet. And so you do have this option for up to 10 corrections. You can use an AI generator. You need to use this prompt. So if you just go into your Gemini or ChatGPT or whatever, give them the prompt, give the program the prompt, and then upload the essay, and then it's going to pull out 10 sentences with the explanation. That's not going to make that correction though, and so you need to put the correction in there. It's just going to give you the sentence with the issue, and then the explanation of why it needs to be revised, and then you're going to make the correction. And so you're going to end up doing the corrections for all 20 sentences. Now, if you don't have any essays to work on, then you're probably in a lot more trouble. But if you still want to do the assignment, then you've got these exercises that you can do out of Rules for Writers if you still need more sentences, or if you're just having trouble coming up with things and AI is not helping you, you can do those exercises as well. So those are the two. You have like 3 options there. But the main thing is making sure you get those 20 sentences. The point of this assignment is to enhance your revision skills, so that you're identifying really specific things that can be corrected in your own writing. And then this is also a big outcome that we need to meet for the entire class. So then once you've done that, usually you can do these in any order, but you also have a review quiz to take. We've got 5 sets of readings that we've done that are going to be on the quiz. And so, you go through, make sure you review those. And then the review quiz is 15 questions, 2 points per question. So 30 total. And you can take it as many times as you want to. Think of it as like a final exam without having to be an exam. And then the course reflection is the last assignment. So the course reflection is you want to write it out like an essay, but it doesn't need to be like a 5-paragraph essay necessarily. I'm looking for basically a lot of reflection on the semester. What are some aspects of the writing you've improved on? What do you still need to work on? Overall grade, goals, that kind of thing. Did you meet your goals for the semester? How did you do? Would you learn from completing the revision assignment? All of that kind of thing. So I'm expecting just a lot of your own thoughts. I don't grade this on grammar. I really just look through. I skim through it and see, what is it that you learned. I always enjoy reading these. So this is just a good way for me to see that you've made progress this semester, and thinking about, especially, thinking about your final grade, or what your grade is currently, how do you feel about that? So making sure that you are doing your own writing for that one. And then, and of course, survey is the last thing in here. Again, extra credit, same questions as the midpoint survey. And then that is the end of the class. And so I do have everything due on a Thursday, because Friday is the last day for Allen classes. And so the only issue that tends to happen is sometimes students will submit something incorrectly. And then if it's like the last day, then campus will close. And so I can't accept submissions after that. So make sure that you are just aware of deadlines for this last one, and that if you have questions, make sure you send me an email immediately, and I'll try to respond to you right away. So otherwise, if you don't have questions, have a great week and have a wonderful rest of your summer.